Personally, I feel like Rusev has been buried. Even before his squash match with Obafemi, which is still one of the most disappointingly underwhelming matches that I've seen on Raw recently, because you had two big men who you could have carried into WrestleMania with their feud because they've got nothing for Brock if it's not Oba. Um, Among the fandom of people who know what Oba and Rusev are both capable of individually, there is no reason why there's no reason why they wasted that on a random 4 minute match on Raw. Like the build was during this WrestleMania season, there's just so many missed opportunities and so many matches, so many potential great matches that they're just wasting on random episodes of Raw and SmackDown. Um, Obafemi versus Rusev was one of those matches to where I was truly invested because I saw them go at it on NXT, in a on a house show. So just to see how the company wasted it, it is disheartening and a bit frustrating because of how Rusev has been portrayed since he's gotten back. He hasn't done anything significant. He hasn't been given the ball other than Sheamus putting him over at Clash in Paris. But then after that, he lost 1,000 times to Dominic Mysterio. Once on Raw, in September, it looks like. Another in actually on Saturday night's main event, he took the pin. And then in October, Rusev took the pin. September, Rusev took the pin to Dominic Mysterio. October again, yeah, is strange. I'm sure that they don't really care about what happens to Rusev and all that stuff, and that's very clear because Rusev, he's not a credible threat. He's about as much of a credible threat as Gunther. Now Gunther is he's just botched beyond belief too by the booking department because he's having matches with these smaller guys and he's almost losing them and giving 50 when he's supposed to be dominant. He's supposed to be squashing these guys. He's the person who's taking these people out on their final career status, their legend status careers, and then he can't even beat someone like a Dragon Lee real quick. So weird with Gunther, but Rusev he's had nothing going on. I remember back in I'm on the younger side, so back in the day, I was scared of Rusev because I'd always see him put people in the accolade, and then I was crying because he put John Cena in the accolade with the chains and everything backstage. Um, so just to see that, and then just to see how he is now, I honestly don't know which one is worse. The fact that he's a jobber now, I mean, he's been a jobber since he's gotten back. He's lost over and over again to Dominic Mysterio constantly. And then on top of that, they were both heels, so they didn't even have a rivalry. They didn't have a storyline, just constantly putting Dominic over and over again. After Rusev had momentum off of that amazing rivalry with Sheamus, that brutal rivalry with Sheamus. Actually, that rivalry wasn't amazing either because all they did was just brawl, but it wasn't just the brawling, it was the constant pull apart brawl in the same exact fashion every week. But Sheamus still put the dude over. Sheamus still put Rusev over, and then the company just wasted Rusev's momentum by having him lose constantly to another heel. Because Rusev was a heel. He was introduced into the company as a heel because he took out Alpha Academy. So I'm really not sure what I'm just I don't know, man. I feel like Rusev has been failed. And then this didn't make it any better. It was the icing on the cake. It was the cherry on top to have Obafemi squash, man, Rusev. I honestly don't really see where Rusev can really go from here. Because Rusev usually talking a big game and trying to be all menacing and huffing and puffing, but he's just like Drew McIntyre is on SmackDown. Drew McIntyre talks about who he's going to face. He's tired of Punk. He's tired of Cody. He's tired of Jacob Fatu. And then he loses. He loses every single time. Drew McIntyre has been booked to be nothing more than a joke. He was talking about how he was going to take out the bloodline. Jimmy and Jay beat him. So that was over with, kind of, you know. Actually, Drew McIntyre lost on the first episode of Monday Night Raw on Netflix. And then on top of that, on SmackDown, Jimmy rolled up Drew McIntyre and beat him. So I don't know, man. And then we had Drew McIntyre lose the WWE Championship, and then we had Drew McIntyre say he was going to quit on Friday just to come back an hour later or two. So I mean, Drew McIntyre, you know, these guys, real heels, the real heel booking just isn't he is just not there. It's just not there. People, I don't know, man. These heels get botched like crazy, but to see someone like Rusev, I truly wonder where he's gonna go from here because Dom is a heel, especially after the Judgment Day pummeled Finn Balor. Poor Rusev, man. I see a bunch of people say he should have stayed in AEW. I don't think so either because Miro wasn't used in AEW. He was collecting dust. But honestly, I don't know which one is worse. Back when Rusev was the cuck, or back when or now that he's jobbing and the joke and everything. I don't know which one is worse, to be honest. I honestly don't know which one is worse for Rusev. The man who's supposed to be feared, the Bulgarian brute, but when it comes time for him to brute, he'll take the boot and lose every single time. It's crazy. Is it like 1,000 losses to Dominic Mysterio, and now a bunch of like 3, 4, 5 minutes? I don't even think it was 5 minutes. They went to the outside because someone got thrown over the table. Then they came back in, and then yeah, I think it was Obafemi who got put over the table. And then Rusev started screaming like he used to when he used to get hype and deliver the Mashka kick, and then out of nowhere fall from grace, and then 1 2 3. I'm like, bro, that match got so much criticism because of how underwhelming it was. Because of someone like Rusev, I don't know, man. Rusev just deserves better, but I know that's not gonna happen because we've been saying LA Knight deserves better. And then he makes a little botch every now and then people jump on that bandwagon and say, see, that's why he's not being pushed. But then you have people like Jay Uso who would botch every single time, and then people online would say, "Well, he sells T-shirts. You're hating." But then LA Knight was selling, if not overselling, and if not outselling Jay Uso, he would be selling as many T-shirts as him. But cherry picking and selective memory people have. But yeah, I don't know. I would say now that Rusev is buried because I don't know where he could really go from here. I truly don't. Like, there's just nothing that they can really do. I don't. Yeah. I mean, at this point, I don't even know, man. If I'm Rusev, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But yeah, I mean, they have all the opportunity in the world to have somebody like Lana, elevate the character once more. But I know, like, creative will take any sort of shortcut if that means that they don't have to focus on it. That's unfortunate. But yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Is Rusev losing 1,000 times to Dominic Mysterio for no real reason? Is that going to be a benefit towards him in the future? And him losing in 4 minutes to Obafemi, what is that going to do for him? Till next time, see ya.